I feel like Hank. What was that show?
Hey now!
Hey now. Anyone watch that? Welcome to Who Dinks Wins from the Special Pickleball Service with me, Coach Montgomery, the qualified coach who doesn't coach.
Me, Coach Philip, the qualified coach who coaches quite a bit.
And me, Coach Beresford, the unqualified coach who coaches once or twice a week. And this week we're in front of a live studio audience. I thought for a minute that was a dead studio audience. We've killed already. Right here in Los Gatos, where pickleball lovers are given the chance to fire questions at the three of us, related to our beloved sport or indeed culture here in California versus the UK. So boys, been a while, what have you been up to?
Want to go first? What have you been up to?
I've had this huge thing on my eye.
I didn't notice.
Well, it's gone down a lot now, but
It's not your nose.
But you are a pirate originally, so it fits in quite well. You should wear one of those eye patches.
Thank you. I was my duo band were playing at the club the other day on Thursday night, and I think I walked out afterwards and something flew into my eye, and I don't know if it was an insect or just a piece of pollen or something, but then over the course
Anyway,
of
what I've been doing is
it grew and grew and grew, so that I actually had to cancel lessons. I couldn't coach. Had to take 2 or 3 days off because it was so big and I could barely see out of it.
well, Minna, you
that's
coached
me.
Minna. She says she's improved since you've been off, didn't you? Okay, yeah.
So I've been dealing with that mostly.
You've been laying low, wearing sunglasses a lot.
Oh, actually, Nick Tingle in the audience here lent me several pairs of sunglasses to play at a gig on. I'll bring them back on Saturday night. But I put them on, walked into the place, and couldn't see anything. It was just ridiculous. So I had to go glasses free, which wasn't too bad because it was really dark in there anyway.
What about you?
Anyway, I cut my finger, soaring through an orange. That's about it, really. No, I picked my kids up from San Fran. My kids over there, everybody. My lovely children. So I've been very excited about that.
The names of your children? You
No idea. These are the ones I know about. Freddie and Molly.
I think they're going to be really relieved to hear that.
Well, I didn't know if they wanted to be anonymous. I don't know, but
Too late.
I picked them up, so that's very exciting. We went off to Lake Tahoe. Which is a hell of a drive. No one told me it was 5 hours, but anyway, we finally got there, and it rained the whole time we were there. But we managed to see the lake, and we managed to do a few things, so that was nice.
Nice. I'm having sort of a weird one. It's quite sad actually. My kids have left home. I'm an empty nester now. I never thought that, when I had Jackson when I was 30, that 22 years later that would be it. They're gone off to university to row, which is wonderful for them but very sad for me, unfortunately. And having a bit of an existential...
What's it like having to talk to Jules now?
Well, what, for her or for me?
I don't know.
She says these things like the next day. Don't you remember we had this conversation last night? How much did you have to drink? The sort of sad reality of life.
In fact, you weren't listening. That was the thing in the first place.
Yeah, that's always a bit of a shocker. Existential experience right now, because if you'd have said in 2019 when we moved here that I'd be in advertising, that'd be kind of what I thought I'd be doing, but quit advertising a few years ago, full-time artist, part-time pickleball coach, podcaster, screenwriter. It's just weird how this has all happened, and now bearing my soul in front of 30 of our really good friends.
Screenwriter? I mean, that's pushing it.
Well, actually, Kendall did all the screenwriting. I just came up with some jokes about penises and things, and that made it really quite easy. Before we digress too much, one of the great things about a live studio audience is that we can fire questions at them, and these are questions that have been fired at us, and I'm quite worried about our friends actually. There seems to be some need of therapy going on. I don't know whether you'd read them, but the 3 questions came in about pretty much the same subject.
Okay. So there's a lot of bitterness out there, isn't there?
Yeah. I've got to resolve these arguments a bit like dealing with a divorcing couple or something. But but before it becomes the divorce court, I thought we would try and settle some debates ourselves between us. So the first question then: what to do about a social player who always makes terrible line calls? I think they're talking about Roger. How do you gently but firmly shut that nonsense down? Part A: a ball 99% out is 100% in. in caps with triple exclamation point after that. I think peeps don't understand this and will call a serve out because it was on the wrong side. If the ball touches any part of that centre line, it's good.
Was that exactly that? That was the exact quote. This is exactly from an anonymous person. Are you sure, with all the capital letters? Are you sure it wasn't Donald Trump?
It could well be.
Right.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. What is the latest official rule on the following question? Up to what point in time can one call an opponent's shot out? I've researched this as best I can, and I think I know the answer, but would love to hear your audience. Love for your audience to know the answer as well, as I regularly play with several of them. I mean, that's a passive-aggressive question.
That really is.
Totally.
Serious.
I feel I don't.
Who could that be?
Look around. I don't know who that be, but I think there's catharsis. I think they're more relaxed now after letting that go.
Yeah. It's like saying I don't love you anymore. They're trying to actually get that out. So that's pretty tricky. So what do you think then about all these three boys? I mean, I've got some thoughts. I'd love to know. Much as I love the sound of my own voice, I'd love to hear what you guys think, and then we can turn it over to our audience.
Go on, Phil, because you're the coach who coaches all the time. What do you think?
I think it's really tricky. I think this is something that comes up every game. There's always something where the calls could go either way. And personally, I think you should be just giving the benefit of the doubt and calling it in more than you call them out. However, it is, if you had to slow it down and do an action replay, it's very clear what happened nearly all the time, right? If the ball lands and if this is the line,
it's a podcast, by the way. What Phil's doing is actually
a line, then it's out. And if you can see green, as people shout, "I saw green," then yeah. But it's so hard for other people seeing that at different angles. So let's just play on. Yeah. Let's just keep playing, call it in, and get on with the game.
Yeah, who's best to call it as well? Because I always think if you're looking over it,
you can't call it.
But someone over there is better. Someone to the side.
Well, the soccer. If you look at the soccer, if the ball going over the goal, it's always, the angles are always very tricky. Yeah. But it's very obvious from one angle. And seeing whoever can see what's underneath the ball from the angle is the one that has the best view. So if you can see it's green or white under there, then that's the one that sees it. But looking from above or this, it's just always tricky for.
I mean, in tennis, at least you get chalk dust, don't you?
Yeah, but also if this skims off, right? If this skims off,
that's the way to really know, isn't it? If the ball skims off in a funny direction, it's usually
that's for sure it's in.
For sure, it's hit the line. But do you think also that maybe it's a question of people's eyesight as well? I mean,
yes,
you want to
not mentioning anybody here.
Yeah. But deteriorating eyes, you do sort of
absolutely.
So don't you think you have to err on the side of just being not? I replay everything that is called out, and I had that yesterday. Will back me up on this. I replayed the point, I called it out, and then Jules was like, "No, that was well in." And then they said, "I think that was in, Barry." And it's like, "Oh, okay. I'm really sorry. I played it again." Then Karma took care of it, and we won the point as we justifiably should do. So I'm not competitive.
But really, you should have not replayed it. If you disagreed, then it would.
No, I think.
I
think if people disagree, then you play it again.
But those aren't the rules.
I don't know the rules, but I think it's the nice thing to do.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah,
and if there's a disagreement,
but this is America, boys, and we're not. This isn't English gentlemen.
That's true.
This is the ruthless.
We're not serving.
No one says sorry when they hit the net.
Oh, I say, smashing cricket stroke.
And then it says a ball 99% out is 100% in. I think that's just such a good quote. But it's those margins. There's no way anybody can really determine whether. I mean, the only way to ever know is if it skids off the line, right?
So if in doubt, play it again. I think that, for me,
or play on. Don't call out.
Also, seeking the highest in the people you're playing. Genuinely, we like the people that we're playing with and against, don't we?
Often.
So.
Yes. Yeah, more often than not. Yeah.
So therefore, you don't want to lose your friendship over a line call.
Yeah, exactly. So and how important is it?
Yeah. So what does everyone think out there?
Yeah,
I'm not going to ask you.
I've got one other point before we get into this, which is at what point can one call an opponent's shot out? So, I mean, you usually do it in real time. I mean, if it goes out, you just speak up immediately, don't you?
But you have to do it before the ball goes back to the other side and they hit it, or before it is out of play.
Okay, so that's fair enough. I mean,
you can't just wait and see whether you win or not.
Yeah, that stroke 3 shot to go was out.
So right, you can't do that.
I'd like to retrospectively punish you for doing that. Okay,
no, that's logic.
I'll be very curious then to hand this one over to the audience. What do you think oh beloved audience? I mean, where is your head and heart on
Melissa
any of
has
this?
the mic there, so she can just
Anyone
hand
got
it to anyone.
a Coach Kim?
Coach Kim.
That's a proper coach instead.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, real coach. There you go.
The rule is 25%, but that's if you're playing a pro game. So as far as amateur and just having fun, again, I agree with you guys. If it, err on the caution of it being in, right? Because you're playing a fun game. But really, you should be, the one that should be calling it is the person above the ball. Because anything on an angle, it's going to look out. It's going to be distorted to, to look out. And I know I've made that mistake many times. I said, oh my gosh, it's my partner's call because they're on top of it, right? So that's really the rule when it comes to.
So Coach Philip thought the opposite, didn't you?
I would go the other way on that, but happy to disagree with you.
Maybe it's about having a second opinion as much as anything else. Because you want to win, I suppose, but it's not like winning.
But it's not like dire you have to win. It's more about having fun.
It is.
Dire you have to win. It's more about having fun.
It is.
And keeping your friends, having them happy.
Yeah, that's also true. And keeping your marriage alive and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Anybody else got an opinion?
Where it really gets me, and I think people don't understand this, when you're serving, it'll hit the middle line, but they'll say, oh, it's on the wrong side. There's no such thing. If it hits any part of that line, regardless if it's on the other court, service court, it's in.
People say that? It's on the wrong side of the
yes,
line? I've never seen it.
Often. I dealt with it all the time in tennis, and pickleball is the same thing. And I don't know if they don't understand.
Don't they just mean that it's on the wrong court? It's on the wrong side of the line. It's in the other court.
It hit the other court.
Yeah.
But as long as it hits the line.
Sure. But
they have this feeling that because it's that side of the line that touching the other court, that it's out.
And Cindy's got a joke.
I do have a joke.
Oh, go on then. Finally, something funny on this show.
What do you call a woman standing in the middle of a pickleball court? A net.
Yay! I like that.
Somebody get that mic away from her.
Of course, I don't know the correct answer, but I can tell you what my practice is, if that's useful.
Yes.
So it depends on who I'm playing with. If it's with lovely people like in this room, I try to follow the 99.9% example. Hopefully they agree. If it's random people, I mirror what they do. What comes across goes back.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, we like that.
Any more contributions to that question, or should we just press on? Because I've got a beautiful one here. It actually breaks my heart having to read this.
Okay.
Go on then.
Do it.
It says, how to respond to someone you don't know that walks on the court during open play, and the first thing out of their mouths tells you that your serve is illegal, making you lose confidence.
You only get people like that at the hub. You don't get people like that at courtside.
Oh, but apparently, well, this person I know very, very dearly, and she would argue that it would happen at open play in our club, and I'm sort of disappointed to hear that.
How often do you see people in our rec games with serves that are not legal? It's reasonably frequently. Obviously, we have one among us. So it does
I'm always trying to do the clever ones. I mean, 1 in 10 is really good, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The other 9 are
out.
Marshall.
But one of the questions I have, because in tennis there is a similar problem, who's allowed to say your serve is illegal? So in tennis, the other side can't say it. Even if you foot fault and all that, you have to call it on yourself. Is that the same in pickleball, or
I don't even know.
Can you point out if somebody has an illegal serve?
I mean, I'm sure I have a legal serve now and again. I mean, does anyone bother with at rec? Does anyone say that's illegal? No. Does anyone say that?
Yeah, I've heard it.
I mean, if it's ridiculous over your head like a tennis shot, that's different. But
if it's above hip height, it's giving you an advantage. Then that's the reason why it's an illegal serve, right? I mean, if it's giving them a notable advantage, then
what advantage can it give you? More power. Okay.
And placement, and it's just more spin. There's all kinds of things.
So there is one guy that I've noticed at the club who might or might not be here, that when he serves, jumps and both feet come off the ground, he gets a huge amount of power from his serve.
Is that you, Hall?
So it jumps off the ground. So hits it with a lot of power, and so that's an illegal serve, right? With both feet off the ground. So I think that in that case, because you're winning so many points because of it, I would point it out, especially somebody that's.
It depends. Does it depend who it's going to? So if if your partner may be a little bit older or something, and you just think that they're just being picked on, then you So I won't have that if it's someone picking on somebody.
Right.
I want to step in and say something. But I mean, if they're going to do it, I mean, if it's a competition, they're going to be told they can't do that, so they have to think of something else.
So it's rude. Basically, with this person here is being rude, doing this, coming on and just saying that to somebody, especially if you don't know them. It may be something that, you know, like a coach could say quietly to somebody at some point, hey, I there's a way I think we could help your game, and then just go maybe that way.
Michelle, hello Michelle.
So I've told somebody that they're serving incorrectly, like a side swing, and I've done it because they started pickleball and I don't want them to screw up right on the bat to learn to go underhand. So I
You're not
didn't
talking
think I
about
was
your
rude
coach,
about
are
it.
you?
Yeah, that's a good point, and it is something. If you feel like you're helping somebody, and I had a couple of people yesterday that were serving in a clinic that similar. So I thought maybe it's just worth telling them now before they get into a bad habit of doing it. I think that's a really good
we're sort
point.
of missing the point of this question, which is maybe she thinks there's nothing wrong with her serve, and someone is telling them that their serve is illegal, and she's probably thinking, well, actually, I think my serve is perfectly legal, but then she's losing her own confidence because she hasn't got. Isn't it best
to say, why do you think it's illegal? Tell me why it's illegal, and
I think that'd be one piece of advice. I mean, there is another thing you could say, beginning with F.
Yeah, and ending in F.
And ending with F, funny enough, that you could sort of politely tell them, just but. Yeah, but what's our advice to her then, as a person? When someone is critiquing your style of play or your serve or something, then and it's putting you off your own game.
Yeah, this is someone you don't know.
I don't know who this person is at all.
Or it doesn't. No. The person.
Oh right, the person telling me.
Does that matter if you know them or not?
Well, I think if you don't know them, it's a little bit.
It's even ruder.
I think it's rude, isn't it? It's a bit. If it was a friend saying, dude, stop doing that because that's illegal. And it's
when you tell me that, I still tell you to begin with F and end in F. Yeah.
And then you miss it anyway. It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential.
I thought I completely misconstrued this question or misunderstood this question. I thought this woman was serving, and then someone was just coming on the court.
No.
And as they went past, they went, "That's illegal." I thought, that's really rude.
You don't like that, do you?
No, I don't think it was a pitch invader. No, it was something completely different.
Anybody else?
Any questions, thoughts on that?
Come on, I know you want to. Nick, you love to talk all the time.
I don't think my serve's illegal, but sometimes my foot is on the line, and I'm quite glad when someone says, "Hey, your foot was on the line," but not taking the serve away. Just to my partner saying, "Hey, did you know?"
We covered this last week. You obviously didn't listen to the podcast last week.
I kind of got bored halfway through.
We thought it's fine just to say to someone, look, you realise after about 3 times, just to say you realise your foot's going over the line, just to let you know.
And you see a lot of illegal serves, but unless it's causing your problem returning them, I wouldn't say anything until afterwards, maybe.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so moving on to our next question, which I believe is about
also,
Pickleball.
Does anyone actually understand the rules for serving these days? Changing the rules.
Well,
is it belly button?
Go over to coach.
I didn't even know you couldn't jump.
So the rule is that you have to keep your paddle below the waist and below your wrist. When you're serving it, obviously you can't have your foot on the line. And if you're bouncing it, letting the ball bounce, you can't bounce it, pushing it. You just have to let it drop from the waist down.
And is that point of contact with the belly button still?
Yes, it is.
And is it after the ball? So if you're going to hit it straight out your hand versus bouncing the ball, that's different, or dropping the ball?
Oh, that's different.
That
so
is
there's
different.
2 different serves. You can let the ball bounce and then hit it.
Yeah.
Again, you can't push the ball.
No.
I've been called out at tournaments for that.
Yeah.
You just have to let it drop. And then if you're having it out of your hand, it can't be above your waist. And that, you're right, the belly button.
Can I see someone's belly button so I know where it is?
Yeah, sure. Depends, I guess, if they're your friends.
Right then, I'm going to move on to the next question. I believe it's pickleball related, not bedroom related, but it says, what are your thoughts on drilling versus playing? How often, time, ratio, etc.? Drilling versus playing.
How often?
How often, and what are your thoughts on drilling versus playing? So,
well, are you going to get better by playing and not drilling?
Probably not. We've talked about this before, but if you're playing against the same people all the time, you're not going to improve much.
So you get much, right? You'll get better. You don't have to drill, right? Because maybe you're doing this sport just because you love doing it and playing with friends and that, and maybe you don't want to get better, and you will get a little bit better, right? If it's like our Sunday soccer team. most of those guys don't go off and do drills. They just come and play the game every Sunday.
You're telling me.
And some get better, some get fatter, and get slower.
Is there anyone here, actually, we have discussed it, anyone here who wants to get better? Everybody wants to get better all the time, do they? So that was mainly, just a podcast, that was about 90%, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So McEnroe used to believe that you get better by playing. He wouldn't do drills. He'd play, and that was his way of getting better. And I subscribe to the idea that the minute drilling becomes boring, I mean, there's people that do it for repetition and they do get better.
It is quite boring, isn't it, generally?
It's boring. But if you do it in such a way that you can turn it into a game. So like was it Dinkle that you play?
Dinkle.
Good grief, it gets worse and worse.
Sounds phallic.
Stupid.
Going back to drilling again, aren't we?
But you're sort of back to drilling, yeah. So that is a game element to it, which is really fun, and it keeps keeps dinking skills, which is probably the thing that separates 3.0 getting better, doesn't it? There's that glass ceiling. The people that don't dink just don't get better. Does everyone notice?
What do you think? Because you've been running drilling sessions recently. Did you have any comments
Which is very noble
on this?
I'm not sure why you asked me. Everything sounds so much more convincing in your accent.
You've been well, you nearly speak English. Your accent's nearly English, so you're only slightly convincing.
Well, we've had 2 sessions, and the folks really seem to enjoy it. Did we improve? Too early to tell.
And how do you keep them interesting?
We've tried to gamify them. So we've made short games, up to 7 points or something, based on just one stroke. For example, just volley. So every stroke is a volley. You're at the net, at the kitchen, and 7-point game.
So if you want to really do want to get iron it out and get much better. I mean, if I coach groups, it's really difficult to do a drill that's going to appeal to absolutely everybody. So if you've got 8 people all doing the same thing, so some people might think, well, I'm pretty good at this. Why am I doing it?
Exactly.
Whereas one-on-one, it's a good bit to be able to part drills to people that just want to practice in pairs or something. That one thing that they want to get better at. But when it's group sessions, it sort of takes the fun out of it, I think, a little bit.
So how often do you think? Like a couple of times a week?
What, drills?
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't play every day. We've been discussing this as well. You should play every other day, really. But I know people a lot of people here play every day, but it's probably not very good for you. So maybe play every day, drill on the other days. That would be a good solution.
Every other day.
Every other day.
You could switch it. You could do that. The other thing that's really useful is just following like the kitchen on Instagram. So you actually see how other coaches do it and just see how other players do it, and they explain things in really, really simple terms sometimes, and it becomes very visual then and much easier to navigate when you are wanting to learn a new skill. So yeah, it's good. All right then, in the next question that affects
someone else.
Please feel free to interrupt.
No, that wasn't being sarcastic. He actually means please interrupt.
I didn't read what did he say? Please interrupt. Okay. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Coach Phil, I see you out there giving individualized lessons a lot. In terms of drilling, which a lot of people do find boring, are there any clinics where you have like 6 people at a time that are drilling together or playing triples against, making it more fun? We used to do that in tennis. A clinic, 6 women every Friday for an hour and a half, and it's fun, but it's practicing. It's not playing a game.
Coaching one-on-one can be great because you can focus specifically on what that person needs to focus on, which might be something as simple as their double-handed backhand, and if you can throw 1,000 balls at them over the course of an hour and you continually help them and coach them through how to do that, you'll get better, right? You'll get better at it. With 2 people, I had 2 people today, and they were very different. They were friends, they came along together, but they needed different things. So that's a lot trickier to have a very successful coaching experience. But you focus on one thing that both of them can work on, and just try your best to make sure you work on everything that both of them need. But it's tougher. When you have 3, it's really awesome, because then as a coach you can jump in for the last sort of 20 minutes after you've done some drilling with them and take part in a game. And I love doing this stop-start. We play, then every now and then we all freeze and look at where you are, where do you think you should be, what happened in that last play, how could you change that? Let's replay that and try and see what would happen if we changed it up, etc. So those sort of things work well. The clinics are good because they're less expensive. You know, so there's
Well,
like.
they're just fun too. I mean, it's a way to practice with your friends. If 6 girls come and play,
But
all similar level.
yeah, I would find that. Are you actually meaning having 6 people on 2 courts or 1 court?
Just 1 court, like you put 3 over here, 3 over here. Do
I actually haven't done that.
drills.
Have you done that?
Not very often, no.
No.
Only when it's crowded.
Did you?
I've done it a few times. I mean, you can't predict how many people are going to join your clinic or your class, so you just have to think outside of the box, right? So 3 on one side, 3 on another, and I would do dinking drills, and then I love, like this gentleman said, to do games.
Yeah.
It's always fun to incorporate a game, you make it more fun, you know. But to me, drilling is so vital to getting better, because if you do one shot 100 times, then you get into the scenario of a game, you're going to get that shot more percentage-wise, right?
Well, it's what a professional would do, apart
Exactly.
from McEnroe. The rest of the professionals would practice their skill over and over and over again until it's second nature, and then hopefully on the field or on the court, you'll be able to recreate that without too much effort.
Yeah,
So,
but I agree with you with the 3 people and then jumping in and playing. That's great. And then stopping, let's talk about that, and then moving forward. It's a good technique.
Good.
Kim's holding a ball in her hand. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but this is unbelievable.
Okay, so I follow
playing with-
Instagram a lot, and I follow Megan Fudge. So a little shout out to Megan Fudge. She's a pro that plays on the APP tour. But this is a ball that when you bounce it, it's practicing getting to the ball. So visually, I don't know if anybody can see.
It's a
but
ball with lots of nodules on it. that
That's
then
right.
bounces
And
in
they
different
actually use it
directions.
in tennis. So I don't know if you've seen it, Sam. Yeah, so if I would bounce it, go straight. But then you have to move to the ball. So it's good for movement. Yeah, so I brought
Can I have that?
I brought it.
Everyone's
I brought it
a
for Mark. So Mark, there you go.
So I was using these back in the 90s with kids fitness programs. I've never thought of using it with Uberboard, but with our kids fitness programs back in the UK here, we would use these for catching games and all that sort of thing. It was super fun.
Go on, carry on.
That's it. Yeah, that's a great
cut
idea.
that out.
I
Yeah,
love that.
so you guys, there you go.
We'll hang on to that, and you can have that at the end.
So I've got a segue question, because it came in from the audience. It actually came in from U-Haul, but this was from Mr. Scott Eschenroder. Are English coaches generally viewed as smarter than American coaches due in large part due to their accent, especially if coaching in California? Well, well, you be the judge. We're not. This is a cultural question, I think, isn't it? So I'd like to know some the answer. I think that's not something we can answer, is it? It's,
Not at all. We get away with murder. You lot think we're intelligent, but
nobody thinks you're intelligent, Mark.
I said we.
Oh right, we do.
We.
When you say we, you mean you.
So what do you think? I mean, are you impressed by your colonial elders?
It definitely does help. I remember getting stopped by the police a few times when I first got here, because the rules of the road are different than in the UK.
No dogging allowed anywhere.
Often caught for doing things you're not supposed to.
Oh my God! Stop!
And no, like driving too
driving.
fast, or going on the wrong side of the road,
too fast,
or
yeah,
turning on like all this stuff, and having
Driving on the wrong side of the road.
I did that. Of course, you didn't do that.
That's dangerous.
And but the accent would definitely help, and you would.
I'm sorry,
definitely-
officer. I'm just visiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
And-
it does help. Yeah.
Well, also,
I've been in that
when they
situation
ask
as
for your
well.
driver's license, you say, "I'm sorry, I don't have one. I'm visiting, and I just have a passport." And they go, "Get out of here!" You know, they just back in the day.
and try and stay on the wrong side of the road.
Definitely help though.
I don't know. Any other thoughts on that particular nugget? I mean, it's we obviously make it up as we go along, don't we? So maybe the accent helps a little bit, but no, maybe a little bit of. But I don't even think we're as a nation, we're not as confident as Americans, are we? We don't like doing the sort of thing where you got 3 people sitting around a microphone and an audience watching. We just genuinely don't like that.
No, we're more reserved for sure.
More reserved for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, Scott, where were you going with this question? I mean, other than trying to humiliate us.
Is Scott here? Is Scott here?
Yes, he's over there.
Oh, there he is.
I think back on when my kids were little, and there were Englishmen over here, young Englishmen teaching soccer and football.
Oh, right.
And
We're not talking before.
Oh my God, my kid's going to be the next professional soccer player,
Right.
and he must be coached by a British person, or should I say English? I don't mean to offend anybody. But and it was just this was going on 20 years ago. Obviously.
I think that's true when it comes to soccer ball. Yeah, you need to be taught by a British person. But if you had your kids taught basketball by a British person, you'd be going
Spanish.
What the hell? No, British. We invented it.
Pickleball started on the East Coast, so yeah. No, pickleball isn't a British sport at all.
No, not at all. No, that's why.
The other point on that was I've been watching, not watching, but occasionally passing by when you guys are coaching and whatnot, and the ratio of women to your coaching is quite high. However, when I see American coaches and say over at West Valley, doesn't seem quite as high of a ratio. So I don't know what's up with that, but I just thought that was noteworthy.
But don't American men and women just think we're gay, so we're less of a threat? Maybe that's what it is.
But just remember that as a coach, you get to choose who you can coach. So you can change that ratio yourself by telling all the blokes that you're busy at that point, and then not that I would do that, but
Dear. I'm not sure I like where this question's headed now. So I've got another question then, which is, in light of the situation in Saratoga and across the country, which pits pickleball players against people who live near pickleball courts who are attempting to get noise abate measures in place, what do you think about these measures, specifically the use of soft paddles? Have you tried these? Do you play how do they play versus regular paddles? Are they much quieter? Cost, etc. So I suppose the overriding theme is pickleball's surging in popularity, but deeply unpopular with residents, particularly over in, say, La Rinconada, where they want to shoot us. Well, in fact, I'm pretty sure someone's going to come out with a machine gun and just gun us all down at some point.
I think it's significant that in Cupertino they've restricted the hours of pickleball in some places.
Oh, really?
So I think it's 9 till 7. Then after that, you have to use soft paddles. That's got to be the way forward, I think, possibly. That's the best possible compromise.
Okay, so pickleball differs from tennis. It's not quite the sort of genteel sport, right? So you get reprobates like Marshall turning up with a megaphone and a little, and he puts his phone next to his speaker and he's turned it up and he's going, because it's fun, right? But the point being is that it's a noisy sport. It's not just the noise of the paddles, it's the whole energy that's generated, it's the humour, it's the banter, it's the laughter.
It's mainly the paddle, isn't it? It's mainly that noise, which is really irritating, let's be honest.
Yeah. So, but the point I'm making is that there is now a conflict, isn't there, between communities and a fast-growing sport.
Totally. So I think they will. I think that's going to be commonplace. I think they will restrict the hours. I can't see why people shouldn't be allowed to play pickleball with noisy paddles during the day. The trouble is, after COVID, of course, everyone's working at home. That's made a huge difference. Yeah. Otherwise, people would be just at work until 6 or 7. Then if
it's sun. So La Rinconada, there's a guy that lives opposite. And the curtains twitch when he sees a car.
He's a doctor, isn't he? I think
he is. Something like that. I'm not going to. I don't want to.
He should be here. Is he here?
No.
And here he is tonight.
This is your life.
The curtains twitch and they come out. Right? If you're a second before 8 o'clock or a second afterwards, he's out there and he wants to phone the police, or whatever. I mean, he genuinely really hates it. I mean, you could argue, well, why did you move near a tennis court?
Well, he probably didn't, did he? He probably lived there before the.
Oh, he did. But the point is, there was still ambient noise through tennis or whatever. But the traffic's gone up in his area, the noise is a lot. But so in Saratoga where I coach, they've got that cladding up now. So it's thick, kind of black cladding but
it's like playing on the surface of the sun.
It is.
Yes.
It is. So by midday I'm finished. I mean physically exhausted because you're moving around for 3 hours, but towards the end of that 3 hours you're fighting the elements of the sun as well. There's no air. And it's baking. It's black as well, which doesn't help. It just soaks in the heat, and it's sort of a bit of a disaster.
So we need answers. We need someone to invent a ball that doesn't make a noise, or those paddles. Have you played with those paddles? Those felt things?
Soft ones.
Yeah, they're horrible. Really.
What do people think of those felt paddles?
And does anyone think of any solutions to this problem?
I have friends that use the owl at the hub, and it's hard playing against them because you're used to the sound, right? So that's one of the elements that you use to, prepare yourself for the ball coming back. You don't hear anything, it's just like felt. But I mean, they like playing with it. It's a great paddle.
Is it?
Well, that's what they say. Well, I've never used it myself, but
you can't get any spin on it or anything. I found it's just pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the people that I know that have it, they like it, but I think they have the advantage because you can't hear the ball coming off the paddle.
Well, they should be forced to go.
Exactly. Every time I'm going to tell them that. Mark says that you have to make a clicking noise.
Yeah,
every
otherwise it's
single
not
time,
fair.
or it's not fair.
Yeah. But can anyone think of any solutions to this? This is not going to go away, this problem. It's going to stop the growth of the sport for sure.
Yeah, there's a big problem at the Rinconada court, Barry, where you started, right? Where we played.
Yeah.
And they had a big to-do about it. It went viral on social media. You know, they put oil on the courts because they're so upset with the noise element. But come on, you moved. You're across from a park. There's people. And I live in that neighborhood, and I love it. I wake up to the sound of pickleball.
I love the smell of pickleball in the morning.
You know, and it's like great noise to me.
Really?
Yeah. But they're going to put up, like Barry, like you said in Saratoga, they're going to put up the black sound barriers. And, you know, maybe that'll help. Maybe the neighbors will calm down. But I don't know. You live next to a park. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I have a feeling about this, in that it's if I had moved there next to that park, I'd be very disappointed with the sound that pickleball is compared to tennis, because the sound of tennis is just lovely.
Yeah,
isn't it? It really is.
Sweet.
And pickleball is annoying sound, and I love the sport, so I think I'd be really disappointed if all of a sudden
it's not so much the noise, it's the frequency, isn't it? Because in tennis you've got like
a bit more time in between
shots.
Yeah, so then it is noisy. So
it's like a shooting range, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it does seem a little unfair that all of this sport is taken over, and there's this noise pollution around. So the idea of deadening the paddle, I guess, is something, and maybe after hours is a good idea. After 8 at night or whatever, you can only play with.
I think it's a really good compromise.
Or quieter paddles. The soundproofing, I like, even if it's hotter, you would still play that sport if it was a few degrees hotter in there, if you felt like it wasn't causing as much grief to people around you, because we all want to live together, you know. We want to be fair. So I think those.
You become so American, haven't you? You started replacing your T's with D's.
A DOS or a DWAD.
So I remember the conversation though last week was about, are you an innie or an outie? And you think one of the big benefits, of course, of playing indoors is that you can't upset anybody.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
So I do. I mean, I wonder if there is better solutions. I mean, Los Gatos, Saratoga should have the money to be able to invest in a court, or courts that are away from direct contact with the community,
or covered.
Does the court have to be surrounded with that soundproofing? Could it just be two sides?
So the problem with that soundproofing is you can't see behind it. So if you are youths up to no good, you get over the fence and you can do what you like, your recreational drugs, or whatever kids do these days. Probably have cups of tea, I don't know. But whatever they do, that's the concern that the police have. So definitely something to consider. I don't think it's an argument we can really resolve in this session. If we can, give me all your answers and I'll become very, very wealthy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Any more for that one, on that question? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Next question then. For doubles play in the 3.5 to 4.0 range, you guys can all just go now, I think. What are some of the most important court positioning and shot placement tips you might have? An example of good shot placement might be returning serve deep into the middle of the opposing court. An example of good court positioning might be what is called rubber banding, i.e. moving together with one's partner on the court as much as possible to minimise attacking gaps. Mr. U. Hall. A really good question there, U. Hall. What do you think, Coach? I mean, I'd like to hand it over to a genuine expert. So
Montgomery.
No, I don't think it's Montgomery. Yeah. I think it's got to be Coach Kim, isn't it?
I'm out of this. I'm like 3.5 to 4.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you're 2.5 to be honest, Mark. But what are our thoughts on that? Good question. Because this is the thing again, that tactically it distinguishes that. You know, once you get to that 3.0, you're pushing to 3.5. Tactical awareness and that kind of stuff is the thing, isn't it? That on top of dinking, it's just knowing where to be. So. What do you think then? What are the most important court positioning and shot placements you might have?
Well, I guess working with your partner is an important thing. So depending on who you're playing with, sometimes you're playing with a partner that is quite significantly less skilled than maybe you are, lower level. Mm-hmm. Then it's very tough then to you can't as a better player, take over the game and win the game. You're still reliant on that other person, even though you could take some of the shots that they're missing. It's still pretty tough. So playing with somebody that is maybe slightly lower than you changes the strategies. But I guess the standard thing is that you're trying to put the ball where they're not, or putting it where the opponents find it hardest to return.
Yeah.
So at people's feet, putting it deep, often down the middle to confuse your opponents.
It's funny you call it rubber banding. I remember when I played decent level of soccer ball, as you call it over here, back in London. If your defenders, you were literally held together with a bit of rope like this. So you moved up and down.
That's great.
Like this.
Yeah.
You should try that with the old pickleball, really, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I was doing it today actually, just coaching with a couple of people where we were trying to get them to move together side to side in the middle. So as one person comes across to get a ball that's going off the side of the kitchen out one side, and they're reaching out outside of the court to get it, that their partner comes across with them to the middle, so that the opponent doesn't just hit it straight down the middle where there's now a huge gap.
Yeah.
And you force them to play an angle ball across court, which is percentage harder to get in.
So I think to answer your question, we don't have any tips at all.
I think that's
additional
true.
tips?
I think the biggest weapon in pickleball, as it is in any sport, is communication. Any team sport, right? So if you're communicating well with your partner, so two average people can beat two good people if the two average people are communicating and they know where they should be and they're setting up. So another thing there, Yuhal, will be not just thinking about the next shot, but 2 or 3 shots in advance. So why are you dinking? Because you're waiting for them to put it up in the air for Marshall just to slam it down. So you're trying to tee up your partner. So a really good player isn't the player that's putting away the shots. It's the one, I think, that is teeing up their partner to spike it. So that would be what would distinguish that, I would have thought. I defer to Kim actually on some of this. What do you think? I'm sure you've got an answer.
I agree with everything you said so far.
Good
Tethering together, moving together, communicating, and I'm talking, that level, and then moving up from there. Always keeping your opponent back. When you're dinking, it's really important to know that, not necessarily you're dinking out, right? Because you have to think about percentages, right? So going to the opponent, the opposite player's middle foot is really a good strategy. Always going to the tee. You know what I mean by the tee, and that's a really great place to go because the other team, maybe they're not communicating very well, especially if they're new together. If they haven't played a lot together, they don't really know each other. So you're going to get a lot of points there. So not getting caught in the transition zone is really important, and knowing defense. And not always thinking about putting a ball away, just getting a next ball over. I think too many people at that level will just want to smash a ball and it goes into the net, it goes out. It's like a chess game. You're setting up for the next point, like Barry was saying. You're setting up for the next point, until you have a very clear put away. Then you put it away.
Yeah, good advice. Good advice. Back to you, guys.
Thank you. So, first of all, my good friends don't call me U-Haul.
Oh.
They address me by my initials, which are UK, which are appropriate because I'm rapidly declining.
Stand up yours.
That's a terrible thing to say. And never a truer word spoken in jest, I think.
It was well deserved.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I think there'll be lots of good tips in the audience, but let me start off with one, which I use, which is I see people often returning every shot to the perceived weaker player. But in returning serve, I try to go to the stronger player to keep them back there. So hit a deep return to the stronger player and keep them away from the net.
That's good. That's a good
let's
tip.
See what others have.
Also, it's very, very ungentlemanly, isn't it? If you're firing it back to the worst player, I think that's really bad.
Also, Dave, do you find that you might be quite a strong player, but if you're out of the game for a while, it doesn't matter how strong you are, but the perceived weaker player is just getting it back, and then you've got that one job to do, and it's straight in the net or it's out or whatever. It happens quite a lot, right? Because you keep the focus on the weaker player or the perceived weaker player, but inadvertently they are the stronger player sometimes.
Yeah, I like U-Haul's idea of hitting it to the stronger player, although I still hit to the middle. So the middle toward the stronger player to keep them back. And then the others, yeah, if they are split and there's one forward and one back, I'm amazed how many people will still hit it at the front person. And not that you don't want to ever do that, because anything you do, you don't want to be super predictable. But if there's somebody back, hit it to the back player, right? Because that's a weaker position and it gives you time to move forward and all of that. And the other one that I've noticed that people are doing now better, if you're returning serve, yeah, hit it, but don't necessarily hit it as hard as you can, because that takes away all of your time. Your job is to get to the net. So if you hit it slightly softer and higher, you've got more time to get to the net and be in position for the return, as opposed to just hitting it hard every time.
Yeah. When you said about the hitting it to the guy, the person at the back, I agree with that, but I tend to like to hit it to the person who's moving. So whoever's moving, who's less likely to be in a balanced position, and often tends to, obviously we know if you're running and hitting, your control at our level doesn't tend to be as good. So I like to hit at that person who is starting to come at the net, if anything. Right.
That's good points. Right? Great points. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, you should really be as far away from coaching as
Nick Tingle.
I thought I heard Coach Kim say to aim at someone's middle foot.
Yeah, that was.
How do I do that?
You should be so lucky. That's
which is the middle. Which is the middle one?
That tends to be their backhand, and it's just to get a person out of position.
I still don't understand.
Towards the center of the court. The foot that's toward the center.
The middle foot of the
naked pickleball
court.
That get very,
not my middle
confusing.
foot.
No, not your middle foot.
Any more on that one?
I have another point.
We've got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I
do want to. I mean, we mentioned this before, but I do want to bring up this thing about the weaker player and that sort of thing, which I like. I'd like to play to the right shot for the position you're in, as opposed to playing against any player. If I perceive a weakness, I don't play the weakness unless it's a tournament. We play rec, right? So I feel like it doesn't matter who's weaker or stronger. You play the shot to what is the right shot to play at that time, but not based on the skill level of the people that you're playing against.
So what do you think? There are people who we all know who some of them might be, do take advantage of the weaker player and continually hit them the whole time during a game. Is it good to call them out on that? Do you think that's a thing you should do or not? When it's pretty obvious.
But to what?
So if someone's continually aiming at the weaker,
what were you trying to achieve
body?
as a result of that, though?
No, I just wonder whether you should call them out.
Yeah,
I've called somebody out on it.
Have you?
Disaster.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Yeah, yeah. I called somebody out on it because they just was continually hitting it.
That's why you got a black eye, isn't it?
And it was just but also I wasn't getting to hit the ball at all because it was just so much. It was so obvious. So I said something. I was frustrated and I said something. And it super backfired.
Did it backfire because they got crossed, but also your partner was saying, "I'm not the weakest player"?
No, my partner didn't. My partner felt like she was being supported, but the person there felt victimized and attacked, and I was trying to do it. I felt like I was trying to do it in the right way, but clearly I hadn't, or whatever.
It wasn't Gordon your boss, was it?
It wasn't Gordon, no. But anyway, it backfired. So it was.
You shouldn't use the C word either. Yeah. That doesn't help.
What, coach?
Yeah, coach. So we're into the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, into the last 5 minutes. Unbelievable. I've got another question that I think is great from So Near Yet So Fari. That's his new name, So Near. On the return team during serve, is it acceptable for the non-receiver to stand near the centre line?
It's a nun.
No, he's not a nun.
Well, non-receiver.
Non-receiver.
Right, okay,
non-receiver.
Start again. Sorry.
That sounds horrific. So the non-receiver to stand near the centre line before the serve, or is that considered distracting or rude? I've done this at times to hedge against. Sorry, you might not want to be called out for this now, do you? It's Fari, everybody.
You mean so literally lean over when the
So he said he's done this a few times.
I've done that quite a few times. I
understand it's not against the rules. I'm just asking about common etiquette and best practice.
Right. Okay. So someone's trying to distract them with their hands or something.
Well,
from the
they just
serve.
shuffle across. So as they're on the sort of on the tee line, that's where you want to be, isn't it? Right down by the kitchen line. Your partner's behind the serving line. And what he's saying is they'll sometimes shuffle across to sort of try and put off the server. I mean, he's not the sort of person that does it to really wind someone up. It's just sort of, it's a bit of clowning around that can put someone up. Well, what are our thoughts on that? Is that just really bad
I think
form,
if it's clowning around, it's fine, right? This isn't a fun part of the game that some people like to do. It's okay if it just happens every now and then and it's funny, we laugh it off. But if it's a tactic, then it's not in the spirit of the game.
It's in football, soccer ball, you can... that's called ungentlemanly conduct, actually. If you do that.
But there's nothing against it in the rules, though, is there?
No,
I mean, so it's all part of the sort of the putting someone off. So
should you deliberately nasty Nelson them?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you could be asking for trouble by standing there. If they hit it hard at you, then you're going to get hit, and then that's.
How is that?
I don't know what you're talking about, and we still. And we still have to have this duel after the show, remember? Paddles at dawn.
Accept.
What about if you just put a really stupid mask on when the person's serving the whole time? You couldn't do that, could you? To make them laugh? Or can you? Is that within the rules?
I don't know.
It's not specifically banned, I don't think. Silly mouse.
No. Also, 2 paddles, is that banned? I don't know. Whether
2 paddles, there's nothing in the rules to say you can't have 2 paddles. I believe. Yeah, it's the same in tennis. You can have 2 tennis rackets as well.
Okay.
I think.
I think he's making it up as he goes along.
Don't believe a word he says.
So Kim, I'll be interested to hear from you about that then. What we're saying that rule about. But it is a rule
distracting.
Distracting.
I don't agree with crossing the line unless you want to get a nasty Nelson. I mean, getting hit, right? That's what they call it. But I do agree with standing middle because you're going to cover the middle until your partner can get up. So that's a great tactic, and I use it all the time.
You're not allowed to cross the line.
So it's not crossing the line.
But you can't cross the line.
Standing middle, she said.
You know, it's just etiquette too, right? Why do you want to get your opponent so angry? You know, they're going to just...
Friendly rec game.
Yeah, it's a friendly game. But yeah, I would cover middle. Absolutely. Because you're up and you're stable until your partner can get up there. Yeah.
Farry, try it out the next game when we play. See what happens. Let's just test the theory.
Yeah. Stand about. I think we should ask.
Where did you get those lovely shorts?
No, it's funny you should say that. My lovely son makes them in London. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a bit of publicity. Harbour brand. Yeah.
You order them. We love this.
Online.
I'm on a hefty posting service.
Look him up online.
Harbin.uk.
And they're handmade in Shoreditch in London by my son.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So Freddie, you do understand that what you've effectively done is you've put, when fat people started wearing Abercrombie and Fitch, nobody wore Abercrombie and Fitch
I know,
anymore. So
I really shot myself in the foot, but my dad is my brand ambassador.
I know.
Uphill battle, but I'm going to go against the odds.
Oh dear.
It's only over here. I never wear them in the UK where everyone looks good. It doesn't matter here.
First one, true or false? What do you think? Pickleball is the best sport ever.
Hands up.
Okay, all right. Good. Pickleball is named after a dog, or is it a boat? Nobody knows.
A dog.
Oh no, I'm not sure it is. You know,
that's the problem.
Yeah, no one really knows.
The facts are not completely clear, but yes, I thought it was a dog. You think it's a boat?
No, it's about crew rowing.
Exactly. Yeah. So, which we covered in another podcast. It's important to take note of where the starting server is for each team because when their score is even, they will always be on the right side, and when their score is odd, the starting server will be on the left side. Correct, thank you. Okay, Coach Montgomery once had hair extensions. The drop serve was introduced by USA Pickleball into the rules in 2022. True. Provisionally in 21 and then permanently in 22. Pickleball is an official sport in the Special Olympics and started in 2019.
That says a lot.
It's true.
You're not allowed to say Special Olympics anymore.
No, that's the name of it.
No, I don't think you're allowed to say Special Olympics anymore.
It was on Google. The correct name for the kitchen area is the no volley zone.
True. Yes.
Non-volley zone, actually. Got you.
Gotcha.
I know. Coach Berry gave up a potential swimsuit modelling career for painting.
That's definitely true, isn't it?
Okay.
Oversized models.
I'll do one, two more. With a drop serve, which is where you drop it and it bounces and then you hit it. With a drop serve, the ball can bounce twice before the server hits it.
Yes.
Can it bounce 3 times?
Yes.
Can it bounce 5 times? Yes. Exactly, yeah. As
Wow.
many times you like.
That would put people off so much, wouldn't it? If you hit it on the third.
No. Balls can be hit twice, but this must occur during an unintentional, continuous, single direction stroke by one player. True, yes. Okay. If a pickleball lands on the opponent's side of the court and then, due to wind or backspin, bounces back over the net to the server's side without being touched by the opponents, the serving team wins the rally and the point. True, yes.
I've seen this.
Because the opponent failed to return the ball before it bounced twice.
I've seen that happen. Yeah.
Brilliant question. So I think I'm going to do is take us out. Shall I take
Yeah,
us out?
take us
and
out.
goodbye from everybody. So
We're just over an hour, so thank you very much, everybody. Who's going to see us out?
I'm going to see us out. So, Who Dinks Wins is broadcast by KCAT TV on Xfinity Channel 15, Los Gatos and Monte Sereno, and kcat.org, and is a great way to reach a local audience right here in the Bay Area. If you want to sponsor the show or an episode and help support the Los Gatos community who make the shows, reach out to us at SpecialPickleballService@gmail.com to find out more. You can follow the show on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube. Just search Who Dinks Wins. And if you can leave us a rating, please leave us a rating, people, or a comment, we'd super appreciate it. So it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him.
It's goodbye from them.
Goodbye from everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Shown before a live studio audience.